Welcome and welcome and good morning to the Loven Stamp Studios. This is what happens when you miss one day, right? So I am back with another stamping project to share with you. And today's project features a suite that I have not talked about at all yet. And honestly, it might be one that you're kind of like waiting on, right? Waiting to see some projects, waiting to get some ideas. Maybe you kind of like some aspects of it, but you want to see it in action first. So we're going to go ahead and showcase today the Beach Boardwalk Suite. These are the Boardwalk Fun dies and the Beach Boardwalk Designer Series paper. And don't these colors and textures and so forth, don't they just, I don't know, they make me happy. Here's some of the pieces down here at the bottom. So they feature the boardwalk, right? All of the things that go there. Let's get these palm trees out of the way. Ferris wheels, carousels, fun palm trees and so forth. Tickets. Did you ever go to like a fun fair or something like that when you were a kiddo? Or maybe you have fun fairs with your family now. And all of those little tickets that you take around to little booths and do fun things and so forth. They make me happy. So I was really excited to put this to work. And I also love, straight out of 1980 is the Puffy Stickers. And they have that, they have that Puffy sticker extra scent, extra dimensional item. They are nice and puffy. And I'm kind of kidding. They're not like really strong. Like your card isn't gonna, have a puffy sticker scent necessarily. But straight out of the package, they can be a little bit nostalgia inducing. If you are like me and you thought puffy stickers are the best thing in the world to have in a sticker book. So we're going to go ahead and put all of that together today for our episode of Maker Mornings with Meg. So if you are watching, whether you're watching live or not, say hi. Let me know that you're here so we can sort of do our fun community gathering today. I love our Maker Mornings with Meg community and how much fun we have together. So, all right, this is a super technique-y project. And blending brushes are our friend. This technique has been around for decades as a stamping technique, and we are going to bring it kind of into modern day with our choice of colors, and we're going to break some rules, and we're going to use blending brushes, which is definitely the tool of choice for this technique. So, all right, our card base is going to be Petunia Pop. It's just a half sheet. The inside of our card here, I have a piece of basic white cardstock, and I'm just going to go ahead and do this stamping right away now because it is just, the stamp set is so much fun. So here is Boardwalk Fun, and has this fun roller coaster down here and then some fun words. I'm going to go ahead and ink up this roller coaster by kind of just marching that across there. I'm going to take a look at it through my block to make sure that it's inked well. And then I'm going to go ahead and stamp here on my paper. Now, if I'm not sure I got all of this done, I can flip it over here. I'm going to be really careful if I do this though, because did you see how much ink I got on my block up here? I want to make sure that my cardstock doesn't touch there, or I'm going to get that ink onto my paper, which is always risky when you turn stuff over. But I can do this and smushy, that's the technical term, smushy. There we go. The rest of it to make sure I get a really nice image from our stamp. Okay, this is going to be inside our card. This is super cute. If you want to go the extra roller coaster mile, you can, of course, die cut little colored train cars to put on your roller coaster and all kinds of fun things here. We're going to use the Ferris wheel on the front of our card. And there are even these little tiny, here they're upside down. They're the little tiny cars that fit on the Ferris wheel. So you can punch these out and put these on your Ferris wheel. This is a really just clever die set with a lot of little pieces. So, all right, but let's get our pieces here ready because we are going to set this aside and use, breaking the first rule of Retiform. We're going to use Lemon Lolly as our card base. So, hi, Linda. Oh, hi, Lori. Oh, Lori says she just got this bundle yesterday. Okay, Lori, well, you'll be all set to make this project. So breaking the first rule of Retiform. Retiform means net-like, if you look it up. And it is a stamping technique where we use masking to create sort of a net-like grid of elements on our card base. So usually you use a neutral background, crumb cake, vanilla, white, something like that. But we are going with Lemon Lolly here because it is bright, happy, fun, and part of the color suite from this set. So if you look at the back of your designer series papers, it always lists the colors here. So we have Blackberry Bliss, Bubble Bath, Daffodil Delight, Granny Apple Green, Lemon Lolly, Petunia Pop, Pool Party, Pretty Pink, Secret Sea, Strawberry Slush, Summer Splash, and Timid Tiger. There are a lot of choices to use with this paper, so don't feel limited. Oh, look, I've got a smudge on there. I'm going to flip it over. Honestly, it probably wouldn't matter. Okay, so to make our grid, we are going to use a mask. This is one of those techniques that you can do lots of different ways, and you should not feel like there's a right and a wrong answer to it, okay? So I'm going to start off with my Lemon Lolly. I'm going to start with the lightest. Again, there's no right and wrong. Logistically, I find this one to be the easiest to do first because then I'm not smearing darker colors into it when I'm using my ink pads, okay? So I'm going to take my blending brush. These come 3 to a pack, and I tend to keep one for each color-ish family. So this is my yellows, this is my purples, this is my pinkies, sometimes red-ease. And then you can wash these out, but I just like to have I have one for greens and blues and so forth. So a good 6 or 9 of them will cover everything and you never have to wash. It's like permission to never do the dishes and it doesn't even matter. So, all right. I try to be good to you guys. All right, so we're going to go ahead and swirl on our ink pad like this to pick up color. And then I'm going to lay, this is just a piece of scrap paper. It's from a pad from, I don't know, some random place. But it's a little bit heavier than typing paper and not as heavy as cardstock. So I really kind of like this one. You can also use a Post-it note across here and it will stay where you put it and you don't have to worry about it sliding. But I'm going to go ahead and just use my free hand to hold this down. And I'm going to keep picking up color. The thing about blending brushes is that they take the ink, they hold it on their tip, and they deposit it on your paper, which is just what you want. You don't want them to be the ink to go super deep in the brush. And since the ink is right on the tip of the blending brush, the more you swirl it, like once the ink is gone, so here you can see how it's pretty much gone, you need to pick up more ink. You can't just keep swirling to get more color applied to your paper, okay? So it's very much an ink and swirl kind of thing. All right, so now when we take our mask away, we have this fun line here. When it's not glaring, I think you can see it better. This line across our paper. And we're gonna go ahead, I'm gonna make this kind of like a, I don't know, we're going to make a kind of random shaped grid here. And so I'm going to move my paper over and I'm going to do the same thing here. Okay. So same thing, ink, swirl, ink, swirl, ink, swirl. Has anybody done Retiform before? Okay. Like I said, there's a couple things we're doing here that are going to break the rules. So the first one is starting on a colored cardstock instead of a neutral. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to put a color line right against the back of this yellow. Now, often in Retiform, let's see, I'll just do a really quick here. Often in Retiform, you use your masks to create white space lines. So then I would take my piece here, I would make a white space line and mask and swirl there. So do you see how you have this white space line right here? So you can do that if you want in your Retiform version to create those lines, but we're not going to do that. I'm going to switch colors here to, we'll do Petunia Pop next. I'm going to switch colors here to Petunia Pop, and I am going to put this line here. I'm going to use a different side of my piece. I'm going to put this line right up against the one that I just made, so there's no white space in between, okay? And now I'm gonna pick up color and swirl this across, okay? Now with blending brushes, when you first set your blending brush down, if you have a lot of ink on your pad, you might get kind of a smudge, so it's always a good idea to just tap off or start your blending brush on your scrap paper before you go onto your project. All right, and do you see how those two, that yellow and purple, we know where they are on the color wheel, right? Right opposite each other, so they really make each other stand out. And they are right up next to each other like that. So I'm going to do the same thing over here. Let's see, I think I need to do one more yellow. There's the thing about this technique is that there's no like need to do anything. It is very, very flexible and open to your interpretation, okay? All right, I'm going to go back to yellow. And I am going to add a divider this way, I think. We'll pop it up here. Okay, so now I'm making sort of a horizontally line. Again, the idea with Retiform is grid. So we're going to make a grid of color here. There we go. All right, you guys kind of see how this is coming together a little bit. And I'm going to do another one down here. I like to make them not parallel. You can make them parallel if you like. It's your technique to do with what you want. But what I am going to do for each of these is to go ahead and pair it with another color line the opposite direction. So now we have one more color here that I'm going to add in. This is Strawberry Slush. And this color is also in the Designer Series paper. So that's like permission to use it, right? So I'm going to mask off the edges here right against my Lemon Lolly. Sorry if I didn't say that. That was Lemon Lolly on Lemon Lolly. And this pink is going to give us a beautiful soft color. Strawberry Slush is kind of pinkish, kind of strawberry slushish. But I absolutely love the way it plays in this color series with our Boardwalk, sorry, not Broadway, with our Boardwalk suite. So all right, we're going to pop that across there. Okay, let's see. Where else do we want to add? I think I want a little bit more color over here, so I'm going to add another sort of net division. I'm going to add the Strawberry Slush up here. And I'm going to add, we're going to pair it with another one of our Petunia Pops down here. Now, another thing we're breaking in the rules of Retiform here, one of the other rules of stamping Retiform traditionally is that you would stamp separately in each one of these little spaces. Okay, so each one of these blocks here, you would mask off and stamp inside. We're not going to do that. I'm going to put one more. I'm going to put one more down here. And we're not going to do that. We're going to stamp a little bit overall because what we want from this is not necessarily like a super grid. We don't want the grid to be that much of an element, a design element. And I think yellow here. Do you guys think? Not such a strong design element for the net. What we want is to have a really fun color background that is fun and exciting and a lot like taking a trip to the boardwalk, right? All the cool things there, all of our favorites, and it's just all about excitement. So this is going to give us that set of colors. There we go. And a really fun, exciting, like kind of explosion, right? Doesn't this very much just blah, kind of get exciting and fun to look at. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some stamping. Now, like I said, the normal rule would be that I would mask off this and mask off this, and I would stamp just in this little area, but we're not doing that. We want our more of an overall effect. So I'm going to take Lemon Lolly, which is fairly light. You can see it there. And I'm going to stamp some of these stars in the background, and they are subtle but pretty fun. And I'm going to show you kind of how they work here. Do you see this one especially? I don't know how much you can see that. See this one, I'm sure. These really stand out with the background inks and the colors. And then I'm going to bring back my Petunia, and we have some really fun greetings in here. We have, hey sunshine, enjoy the ride, and happy birthday. So I'm going to go with enjoy the ride and celebrate. And that makes this kind of an all-purpose, I don't know, it'd be fun, like a retirement card or graduation card. A lot of times we get sort of into this sort of springtime part of the year. Hi, Kelly. Oh, Linda says she likes the look. Thanks, Linda. Get into the springtime part of the year and people are thinking, oh my gosh, I don't have any graduation cards. If you have graduation-y occasions going on in your life, we have lots in our house. Sometimes it doesn't have to be a graduation specific card. It can be enjoy the ride. It can be, you know, cheers to the next adventure. It can be all kinds of these things. So don't limit yourself to like happy graduation day. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to add in here. Now, this is more of a collage stamping technique. So when I do my collage stamping, I'm going to use the larger image first, this Enjoy the Ride, and I'm going to go ahead and turn them. I'm going to twist them, and I am not going to line them up like it so that it could be any interpretation that like I meant to make them straight and then I'd missed, okay? And now I'm going to take my Celebrate and fill in some of those spaces. And when you get to the point where you're like, oh, I should put one more in, my message to you is this: don't, okay? So I'm thinking, oh, I could put one more here, but you know what? I'm not going to. I don't want to overload our card, and the Celebrate message is definitely conveyed across here, okay? All right, so now where are we going to put this? We're going to put this onto a piece of Petunia Pop, and actually, I don't have the cardstock cut for this, but when I'm looking at this right now, I actually have this urge. So both of my basic white layer and my Lemon Lolly layer are 5¼ inches by 4, so they're meant to layer here. I actually have this urge to put a white layer in front of this, actually so much that I'm gonna do it. I really like the idea of setting the white off. So, okay, so you're watching the video. If you see this on my blog, pretty much any video, I've had a lot of questions lately, people asking for sizing information and so forth. I'm gonna cut this down to 3/4, 3 3/4 by 5. Anyway, every project that I share pretty much on the LovenStamps social media channels is available as a video tutorial on my LovenStamps blog. So if you're ever thinking like, oh, Meg posted this whole thing, I wish I knew what the supplies were or the directions or the cutting, those things are all on my blog. So you can always go check there. I have an art gallery that's really easy to search on LovenStamps there. Okay, now this layer is 4 inches by 5¼ and so now it fits perfectly. And you see, gosh, what a big difference that makes in setting off our fun background. So here's with the white border, here is without the white border. It's good either way, but so much cuter with. Anyway, so that was all a long story to say that when you see this on my blog, I think the photos are all without the white layer, but we know on our video here that we like the white layer version. All right. Okay, so now what we have is a really nice clean contrast that sets off the bright front from our back layer. And I'm going to go ahead and pop this down too. And then let's talk about the focal points, the front of our card, because this is just the background. But man, it is fun and exciting, and it has lots of great motion. And that is what we want for our dies. So I'm going to go ahead and take a darker color. So this is Blackberry Bliss. It is a great shade of the Petunia Pop. And so shade meaning a darker tint of very similar color value. And so we're going to go ahead and die cut the Ferris wheel and a couple of these palm trees. I love these palm trees and the Ferris wheel in a dark color because it brings out the idea of a silhouette, right? You're looking kind of into the sunshine, into something bright. Hello. And you have this silhouette that sits in front of them. So through the magic of television, I have our elements cut here. And the silhouette gives us a lot of leeway and sort of adapting things. Plus, this die cut is really nicely see-through, so it gives you sort of the elements of the things behind it without them being too present. So what we need now, though, is a focal point for our greeting, right? And so I'm going to bring in the paper here. I have one of these that is fussy cut already. There are a lot of tickets. You get 2 sheets, of course, of this in the 12 by 12 paper, and you can die cut a number of them. Well, you can die cut any of them using this die here. They are an exact match for these papers, these tickets. This one, I'll show you in a bit. You can use this to little like free cut the ends, but a lot of these are cut directly by the die. The one that I've picked for right now is a little bit different shape. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to use scissors to do a little fussy cutting. Don't fret. If this is something that makes you nervous, I have some tips for you. I'm going to keep my scissors in my right hand, my cutting hand, and I'm not going to turn them or twist them or anything like that. They're going to stay straight, and I'm using my free hand to do all of the paper turning. Okay, see how that works? And that way I get this nice smooth cut as we go along. And I want to use the long scissor blade as much as possible instead of making short choppy cuts, because that's going to give me the most continuous smooth line. All right, and now we have our ticket. This is a great thing if you're like, oh my gosh, Meg and the fussy cutting. I didn't used to like fussy cutting at all, but it is a great thing to just have fun with while you're watching TV or whatever, sort of a distraction. Anyway, okay, we're going to go ahead and we're going to stamp, and I'm going to use the Hey Sunshine greeting for this one. And I'm going to go ahead and pop this on here. So now we have one more greeting, and I've left a space over here because we're going to add some extra elements. And do you see how perfect this color match is with our project? All right. So let's go ahead and put some of these things down. I'm going to use some multi-purpose liquid glue on here. Now, if you wanted to, you could save yourself some gluing effort by using the adhesive sheets on the back of this paper before you die cut your silhouette here. So that would mean that you would have adhesive already applied to the back of your Ferris wheel, and it would be super easy. Remember to give it a second to grab. I'm just going to pop that on there while I grab some dimensionals. Multi-purpose liquid glue is amazing stuff. It grabs super hard with very little glue. But it does take a second to grab, so you want to let it do its thing. There, I'm sure it's fine now, before you mess around too much. All right, in order to put our Hey Sunshine up here, we're going to add our little palm tree tickets, or palm trees to our ticket. Again, like that is plenty of glue for this element. It doesn't need more. And then I'm going to glue, oh, but see, then I messed with it. Okay, sorry. There we go. We're going to go ahead and add some glue to the top and the bottom of our palm tree. I almost never do this, but we're going to have our palm tree sticking on two different layers. So it's going to stick to the ticket there and then to the background here. All right. Oh, Linda says the Blackberry Bliss brings everything alive. Yeah, it does. It kind of adds like a punctuation to it, right? Just that, that's what a silhouette can do. You can use Early Espresso makes a great silhouette color. Basic Black makes a great silhouette color. It's something that's really striking that sits on the front of a much more colorful or much more illuminated background. Okay. Oh, yay, Linda likes this one. All right, but we're not done because we still have these great out of 1980 stickers. And I want to show you a trick for using these. So one of the things you might find with your sticker adventures is that you really like the idea of using a sticker, but it doesn't really fit on your element. So the problem is if I put this here, it's going to stick down the ticket around the edges, and I want that ticket to stand up. That's why I put it on dimensionals. So what I need to do is eliminate the sticky from the back of part of my sticker, and I realized that I've just totally done this out of order. Okay, well, that's okay. There's no stamping mistakes. There's just different effects, right? We're going to make it work. So what I need for this is the Embossing Additions Tool Kit, okay? Now you're thinking, Meg, why do you need embossing powder? I mean, I could have embossed anything on here. Embossing is always a great extra. But what I really want out of here is this. This is the Embossing Buddy. And what I'm going to do with this is use it to take off the extra sticky. So this would have been much easier if I applied this to my ticket first, but we're going to do it this way. So what I'm doing is I'm sticking it down onto my ticket here, okay? So I've got this stuck down, but not to the back. Oh, there. Hey, actually, you know what? Look at this. Can I do this? Okay, remember when you're did you guys see that? Okay, when you remove adhesive layers, remember to twist them or pull them sideways, never peel them back. Okay, when you peel them back, you break the cardstock fibers, and then you can put stuff back down, but it always has that little bit of look like it's been peeled off of something. If you pull sideways or twist, then you're shearing the adhesive layer that's between those two layers of paper, and the adhesive has no choice but to give way. Okay, so then you're shearing the adhesive instead of breaking your cardstock fibers. All right, but the good news for us is that now we can use our embossing buddy. And what this is it's like a rosin bag. And I can flip this to the back side and I can use this to cover up all the stickies. So what it's doing is it's transferring rosin from inside the bag to the back of my sticker, my puffy sticker here, to remove the sticky factor from the back. And now it is no longer sticky. It is just like a bonus cardstock layer. And so now I'm going to go ahead and replace my dimensional because I've transferred some rosin to it and it's not quite as sticky as it once was. Now I can go ahead and pop this on here again. Let's see, did I have adhesive on there? I do. Okay. Now I can pop this back on there and get our tree stuck back down. And now we have the ability to put these stickers any place where they will still be puffy and not necessarily squash down the layers of our card. Okay. Yay. All right. And then of course, if you want to, you can add all kinds of extra bling and embellishments to your projects. Let me see what I have handy here. Oh, these are always fun. These are the flat pearls of some kind. I can't remember the name of them, but they are lately like my go-to. These are left over from the Maker Club, a Maker Club share where everybody got a fun sampling of these. These are the leftover strips, but they are a really fun bonus. So let's go ahead and check these out. I kind of like this orange here perfectly with them. Let's see, where is my take your pick tool? Let's go ahead and pop a couple of these on here. Again, these aren't going to be on the pictures, so you guys are getting the bonus from watching our video together. So let's see. We want to embellish our focal points, right? And that is going to be our Hey Sunshine greeting up here. So I am focusing on our greeting. The rest of the card is plenty strong enough on its own. Let's see. I always usually like to do 2 or 3. Let's weight this there. I'm kind of happy with that. Actually, this one feels super far away to me. There we go. All right. You like how you can move those? If you don't push down too hard, you can usually get away with shifting them a little bit. So there are some fun extra embellishments here that really help to shine a light, so to speak, on our focal point. And then we have that really fun Retiform background. So here's another example of the Retiform background if you're trying to kind of remember what it looked like. But honestly, with a silhouette set like this is a really great chance to use that fun and exciting background to feature something, or to, have a background of something and then have a feature element over the front of it. So lots of good choices there. All right. So whatever you're doing, a lot of times Retiform is often a technique that's used for plants or for flowers or things like that. I was really excited to use it here because I really like the motion of it and I feel like it's fun and exciting and it goes really well with the Boardwalk suite. But a lot of times people will put like a flower in each section or so forth. So I hope you guys are kind of excited to give this technique a try. I really encourage you to just create some background pieces. Like grab some, have a stamp set or a designer series paper or something in mind that you want to pair with and create yourself a background. If you have another silhouette stamp, a leaf silhouette would be beautiful for this. Something like the Nature Walk suite. I can't remember if Nature Walk is the suite or the stamp set. Nature's Symphony, I think, is the stamp set. Here, this one. This that I used to make these cards earlier. If you haven't seen this project, you will want to go ahead and look at the LovenStamps art gallery on my website, LovenStamps.com. But this die here, this background one that I used to make the hole in this card, this die would be an amazing complement to the Retiform technique. Can't you just see this technique used with this kind of stamping in the background, cutting off different sections. There's a lot of great leaf stamps in here and these lines and so forth. And then that leaf spray over the top. It would be a whole different feel, but another really outstanding way to use this technique. So, all right. Well, thanks guys for joining me this morning. I'm glad you're excited about this. I can't wait to see what you all create. As a reminder, it's February, so we are into the time to redeem your bonus days coupons. And I'm featuring Easter Joy this month for our projects and LovenStamps card kits to go, which are available to you if your order is at least $60 or more. And everybody who places an order with me gets that PDF. So, oh, Inika says she just jumped in. You know what? The replay will be ready in just a couple seconds, Inika. I hope you guys are excited about this technique. I will not be here on Thursday. We're going to have like a brief hiatus, which is not actually spring break, but rather traveling to auditions break at our house. So cross your fingers, send good vibes and all that stuff over the next week and a half. I will be back with you for our next Maker Mornings with Meg episode on the 24th, which feels really far away. But hang in there. I actually have 2 weeks of projects I will post for you every day on the LovenStamps socials, Instagram, Facebook, all the things. So you can watch for those for more inspiration. It'd be a great chance to go back and check out any videos or projects that you might have missed, or to pull your Retiform techniques together, right? So in any way, I just want to give you guys a heads up on that. But I will be very excited to see what you guys are enjoying stamping over the next week or so. And I will be back later in February with a couple more Maker Mores with Meg projects. So happy stamping, everyone. And let me know, as always, if you have any questions. Oh, and finally, if you are interested in the Stamp Positioner tool, which is absolutely fantastic and fun to play with, that one is available to new demonstrators for free as part of your starter kit. It's a $49 value. So it's a really great one. There's details about that on the LovenStamps website too. So, all right, everybody Lori's like, oh no more is with Meg. I know. I'll miss you guys too. So it'll be really exciting when we get back together. But I'll look forward to seeing you then, and happy stamping. And thank you guys for joining me this morning. See ya. Bye-bye.